Today, we're not just talking about police chases and arrests. We are dissecting the complex, often violent, and always calculating relationship between the Hells Angels and the justice system, focusing on one of the club's most notorious and slippery figures, Necati Arabaci, nicknamed Neko, or the Godfather of Cologne. His criminal career, an international saga of extortion, human trafficking, and shocking defiance, is a masterclass in how modern outlaw motorcycle clubs leverage global networks and legal loopholes to stay ahead of the law. We'll explore his ironclad control of the German red light district, his bold rise to power within the international Hells Angels hierarchy, the failed assassination plot that terrified a German prosecutor, and the puzzling, recurring cycle of arrests and releases that define his ongoing battle with Interpol and multiple nations. Stay tuned, because the reality of how Necati thinks, from the dimly lit brothels of the Rhein-Ruhr region to the high society haunts of Dubai and Monaco, is more structured, more brutal, and far more complex than any TV show could capture. The law versus the code, Cologne's red light empire. To understand the legal battle surrounding Necati Arabaci, you must first understand the bedrock of his existence, the organized criminal empire he built in Germany. Necati Arabaci, a Turkish-German outlaw biker, first gained notoriety in the 1990s in Cologne, Germany. He quickly became the dominant force in the city's red light district, controlling the infamous Kölner Ring entertainment area. This wasn't petty crime, it was a sophisticated, profit-driven enterprise. The bouncer cartel, Arabaci's clan, reportedly controlled the security, the bouncer scene at most major nightclubs. This chokehold allowed his associates to effectively control the flow of money, drugs, and information, enforcing his dominance with violence. The brothel network. His core business was the sex trade. Arabaci was convicted in 2004 for pimping, human trafficking, and extortion. He controlled several brothels across the Rhein-Ruhr region, including venues like the Colosseum in Augsburg, reputedly continuing to exert control even while initially imprisoned. His gang preyed on women, befriending them only to exploit them as prostitutes, turning human lives into a constant, lucrative revenue stream for the Hells Angels. Conviction and deportation. In 2002, Arabaci was arrested in a large-scale police operation and, in 2004, was sentenced to 9 years in prison for his crimes. However, the true disturbance began not with his arrest, but with his release. In 2007, having served only a portion of his sentence, he was deported to Turkey on the condition that he never return to Germany. This expulsion, intended to neutralize a dangerous criminal, merely shifted his operations, proving to be a critical miscalculation by the German authorities. The disturbing truth here is that a sophisticated criminal enterprise like the Hells Angels is rarely defeated by a single conviction. It simply shifts its base of operations, adapting to the geography of law enforcement's weakest points. The unthinkable, plotting the prosecutor's murder. The most chilling revelation during Arabaci's time in German custody exposed the sheer depth of the Hells Angels' ruthlessness and their direct threat to the justice system itself. The bugged visit. During his detention, police had bugged Arabaci's visiting room. On the transcripts, authorities uncovered a shocking plot. Arabaci was allegedly planning to have the lead prosecutor in his case, Jürgen Botzum, assassinated, hiring an Albanian contract killer from Duisburg. The prosecutor was immediately given bodyguards and police protection. This plot, a direct attack on a state official, highlighted that for high-ranking angels, the law is not just an obstacle to navigate, it is an enemy to be eliminated. Arabaci was subsequently prosecuted again under Germany's Sicherungsverwahrung law, indefinite imprisonment for extremely dangerous criminals. However, the case against the hit plot sensationally collapsed. A mistranslation of some of the wiretap transcripts was detected, and Arabaci was acquitted on the attempted murder charge. The dismissal had severe, personal consequences. The prosecutor, fearing for his life after the credible threat, fled Germany in 2007 when Arabaci was deported to Turkey. This one act is the most disturbing truth of the Necati Arabaci saga. A powerful Hells Angel leader, even from prison, was capable of dismantling a high-profile prosecution and forcing a state official to abandon his post and his country. The Nomads of crime. Arabaci's European supremacy. Deportation did not end Arabaci's criminal career. It simply gave him a new, more powerful territory. In Turkey, Arabaci immediately assumed a high-profile position. By 2010, he had been appointed president of the Hells Angels MC Nomads Turkey. The Nomads chapters are often composed of top-tier, internationally mobile members, giving Arabaci a global platform. Following the 2013 arrest of Frank Hanbuth, the influential Hells Angels leader in Germany, Arabaci was soon being viewed by investigators as a potential new European leader for the entire club. This demonstrated a critical aspect of OMC organization. Leadership succession is fluid, and a powerful figure in exile can still command immense authority across borders. As his influence grew, so did the international hunt. In 2015, Spanish authorities issued an EU-wide arrest warrant for Arabaci, accusing him of membership in a criminal organization, extortion, drug trafficking, and continued involvement in brothels in Spain. This shift in legal focus, from German pimping charges to Spanish transnational organized crime, reflects the true European-spanning nature of the Hells Angels operations. However, the final piece of the legal puzzle is the most frustrating. Turkey does not extradite Turkish citizens. Arabaci, a dual national, Turkish and German, used this law as an inaccessible shield, allowing him to operate from a safe haven. Often cited living a lavish, playboy lifestyle in locations like Dubai and Monaco. The legal limbo, arrests and immediate releases. The modern phase of the Necati Arabaci story is defined by a bizarre recurring cycle of detention and release, a testament to the complex legal contradictions that plague international law enforcement. On multiple occasions, Turkish authorities have detained Arabaci based on international warrants, only to release him shortly thereafter. He was detained in June 2018 in Turkey, but released in September 2018 due to insufficient evidence. And he was arrested again in July 2020 in Izmir for his connection to a murder investigation. But again, he was released from custody later that month. Most recently, in late 2025, he was involved in a confusing legal scenario where he was reportedly released and then immediately arrested again in Turkey as part of a plunder and organized crime investigation. A process that caused intense pressure on the judiciary. In a separate incident in 2025, Arabaci, listed on the Schengen Information System at Germany's request, was detained by police in Slovakia while dining with family. Police issued an administrative expulsion order. However, he was quickly released to cheers from his Hells Angels associates because Slovak law prohibited his detention for deportation, as he was a registered family member of an EU citizen. He simply appealed the ruling and was driven away in a luxury car. This pattern demonstrates the reality of the law versus the gangster in the 21st century. The Hells Angels leaders leverage wealth, mobility, high-powered legal teams, and the sovereignty laws of different nations. Turkey's non-extradition policy, Slovakia's EU family member laws, to create a protective, transnational bubble. The story of Necati Arabaci is a micro-history of the Hells Angels' global criminal enterprise. It is a relentless, decades-long war against justice that transcends national borders. Arabaci built his empire on the horrific crimes of human trafficking and extortion in Germany. He then demonstrated the willingness to attack the very heart of the justice system by plotting the murder of a prosecutor. His subsequent rise to Hells Angels leadership in Turkey solidified his global stature, and the ensuing international hunt by Interpol and Spain confirms his continued involvement in transnational organized crime. His recurring arrests and releases, the final, most disturbing truth, prove that the legal system is not a single seamless net. For a well-resourced, high-ranking outlaw like the Godfather of Cologne, national sovereignty laws and legal loopholes can be weaponized into an effective shield, turning the entire European continent into a playground for his operations, rather than a single jurisdiction that can hold him. As long as men like Necati Arabaci are able to command immense power and wealth from behind the scenes, using one country's law to protect them from another's justice, the fight will continue, on the highway, in the brothel, in the courtroom, and across the international border. The disturbing truth is that his influence, unlike his freedom, has never truly been arrested. What do you think is the biggest weakness in the global legal system that allows criminals like Necati Arabaci to dodge long-term justice? The complexities of extradition laws or the mobility of global criminals? Let us know in the comments below. If you want to dig deeper into the criminal world of outlaw gangs, make sure to like this video and share it. And don't forget to subscribe for more true crime and history deep dives.